So hi guys, I'm Swapnil and welcome to yet another session of Prep Bytes. In this video tutorial, I would be discussing the problem Tom loves factors of the January 2021 Primetime Coding Challenge. So let's get started with the problem statement. Tom is very fond of factors of the numbers. So he decided to get some special numbers. A number is called special if it is divisible by any of the primes less than 60. I would be parallelly writing down the important points of this particular problem statement so that it would be easier for you to understand. So here the special term means it should be divisible by any of the prime which is less than 60. Okay. Now Tom has been gifted the numbers from 1 to n. He wants to count the number of special numbers he has got. So basically the range is given from 1 to 10, 1 to n. So basically the range of numbers is given from 1 to n. Formally, you need to count the number of special numbers in this particular range 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. So this is the gist of this problem statement. Since the number Tom has got are huge, he needs your help for this particular task. So there is another note over here that constants are high. Okay. And our task is to find the number of special numbers in this particular range. Let us move to the input format. The input format is like first line contains the integer t denoting the number of test cases. So we have multiple test cases over here and the number are t. And each test case will have a single line containing an integer n as described in the question. And what is n? N is the upper bound of my range. From 1 to n, we will have to do our operation. The output format is like for each test case, print a single line containing the answer to that test case. And the answer here is nothing but the number of special numbers in this particular range of 1 to n. The constants are t is from 1 to 100 and a can be as high as 10 to the power 18, which means the constant for a, which is the number n, is really high. So we will have to take long if we are doing or coding this particular question in C++. Okay. The time limit to solve this particular problem is 2 seconds. Okay. And here is the sample input and output which we would be discussing after going to the coding area. Okay. So let's move to the coding area. Okay. So the gist of the problem is that we have got a range from 1 to n. N is given by the user and we will have to find how many numbers are present in this range that are divisible by any of the prime numbers that is less than 60. Okay. So let us move to the discussion of the sample test cases which are given in the problem statement. So when n is equals to 1, the numbers in this particular range 1 to n is only 1. So the numbers which are divisible by any prime which is less than 60 is 0 because none of the numbers in this particular range is prime. Now when n is equals to 2, the numbers in the range is 1 and 2. So the numbers which are divisible by any of the primes which is less than 60 is 1, right? Which is only 2. Now when n is equals to 3, the number in the range is 1, 2 and 3. So the answer, which is nothing but the numbers which are divisible by any prime which is less than 60, is 2, right? So these are the output for our 1, 2 and 3 queries. Okay. So now how are we planning to solve this particular question? What is the funda? So one most important thing which we have learned in permutation, combination or basic mathematics is if we want to find how many numbers are divisible by p in the range 1 to n, then answer is floor of n by p, which can be also said as box function of n by p. You must have like learned this particular thing in basic mathematics. Even we can have an example like if number is 6, let us say the number is 6. Okay. And we want to find how many how many numbers are divisible by 2 in range 1 to 6, then its answer is how many numbers are there? The numbers are nothing but 2, 4 and 6 itself. So the number of such numbers is 3, right? And 3 can also be written as floor of 6 by 2, right? Which is 3 again. And how many numbers are divisible by 3 in this particular range 1 comma 6? So here also my answer is 2, because the numbers are nothing but 3 and 6 itself, which gives me this particular answer as floor of 6 by 3, which is nothing but 2. So we are confirming that yeah, this particular formula really works. For proof, you can find it on Google, or is it really easy to prove this particular thing? That it's pretty simple, that if we want to know how many numbers are divisible by p in this range 1 to n, then the answer would be nothing but floor of n by p. So I would be using this particular mathematical trick in solving this particular problem. So if my range is given to me as 1 to n, and I want to like find how many numbers in this range is divisible by p, where p is nothing but any prime number, right? So here we would be getting that the number of such numbers is nothing but floor of n by p, right? So now our task is nothing but we will have to find how many numbers are present in this range that are divisible by any of the primes lesser than 60. Okay, so what we would be doing is, here we would be first finding the set of primes which are less than 60. So this we can do manually as well. So let us like write it up, how many primes are there in this particular range that are less than 60. So the primes are nothing but 2, 3, 5, and then it's 7, and then 11, and then 13, and then 17, and then 19, and then 23, and then 29, and 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, and 53, and 59. Okay, so how many primes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we can see that the total number of primes that are less than 60 is nothing but 17. Okay, so we will have to find all possible subsets of this particular set, or basically all possible combinations of such primes which are lesser than 60, right? And we will have to check this particular divisibility condition with that how many numbers are divisible by p, where p can be any combination or subset of above set. Okay, if here this particular set is S, then here ns is nothing but 17, and p is any number, or let us say any combination of above set, basically product of any combination. So p can take values as 2 or 3, or LCM of 2 and 3, which is nothing but 6, right? Basically I am trying to find how many numbers are there in some range 1 to n that is divisible by 2, or divisible by 3, or divisible by both 2 and 3. So how are we checking if it is divisible by both primes? It can be seen that we can do it by taking the LCM of these two primes, and the LCM of these two primes are nothing but product of them, because these are prime numbers. So any combination would be here. Let us say I want to find the power set of P. So the power set of P would be nothing but 2 and then 3 and then 2 3, right? And then 5 5 would be there, and many other subsets would be there. So to find how many numbers are divisible by any of the combinations in this particular range, I will have to check this particular condition, that how many numbers are divisible by any P. How many numbers are divisible by any P? First we will have to check for 2, then we will have to check for 3, then we will have to check for both 2 and 3. And for both 2 and 3, how we can do it? We can do it by checking with 6. Then we can do with 5, and then both 2 and 5 we can do it by checking its divisibility with 10, and then both 3 and 5 we can do it by 15. So it will go on and on like this, and we will have to check for each and every prime and each and every combination of this particular set. Okay, so how are we planning to do that? We will first create a mask of 17 bits. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. So this mask is of 17 bits, and in each and every iteration I will switch on, or I will set some of the bits of this particular mask to find each and every combination. So let us say in the first iteration I am switching on or setting the 0th bit, and then I am switching on 0th bit and first bit, and then I am switching on the only this first bit, right? So this can be some of the combinations. So we will be trying each and every combination, total 2 to the power 17, power 2 comma 17 such combinations are possible, or subsets are possible for this particular set, and we would be like going through each and every subsets of this particular set, and we would be taking product of all the elements in the that particular subset. So like in this particular subset we would be taking product of 2 and 3, which is 6, and we would be checking how many numbers are divisible by 6 in this particular range 1 to n, and it would be given by n by 6. So accordingly we would be arriving to our answer. Now we will have to apply one more rule of permutation combination over here. So let us say I want to find my n is over here is 1 to 6. Okay, here for any particular scenario n is equals to 6. So I will have to search how many primes. What is my answer? Our task is to find how many numbers in this particular set, this particular range 1 to 6 are divisible by any primes less than 60, right? So our answer over here is 2 is there, 3 is there, right? This is my answer. 2 and 3 is there. So the answer over here is 2, because there are only two primes in this particular range. There are only two numbers in this particular. So the answer is 2 over here. Why is 2? Because there are only two numbers in this particular range, which is nothing but 2 and 3, which are divisible by any of the primes lesser than 60. Okay, so how are we arriving at this particular answer? So here my answer is nothing but numbers in range divisible by 2 plus numbers in this range, in that particular range, that are divisible by 3. Yeah, right, because 2 and 3 are the only primes in this particular range 1 to 6. So we will have to add the numbers in this particular range that are divisible by 2 plus the numbers in this particular range that are divisible by 3. So the numbers in this particular range that are divisible by 2 is nothing but, here we have seen that it is 2, 4 and 6, and the numbers which are in this particular range that are divisible by 3, it's nothing but 3 and 6, right? So 6 is counted two times, so we will have to subtract the numbers which are divisible by both 2 and 3. I guess you have got the pretty basic idea of how to like apply the principle of inclusion and exclusion in this particular problem. So we would be taking this particular divisibility condition for each and every possible subsets, and we would also be subtracting the numbers which are counted twice. Okay, so this is how we are going to counter or attack this particular problem. Okay, so this is the pretty basic logic of how to do it, and I would be writing the pseudocode for people who wants to code in Java, Python or C programming, and I would be showing the C++ implementation for this particular problem. Okay, so let us move to the pseudocode of this particular question. I hope you have got the basic idea of how to solve this in the explanation part. Okay, so I would be looping through each and every possible mass, and the mass would range from 1 to 2 to the power 17, because there are 17 total bits, right? There were total 17 bits of which we were switching on or switching off. Basically, we were setting each and every bits of the total 17 bit string. Okay, so here mask would range from 1 to 2 to the power 17. 2 to the power 17 can also be written as 1 left shift 17, right? Okay, so mask would range from 1 to this particular integer, and we would be having p, which is initialized as 1. Let's not write int p, but only p. P is initialized as 1. Now what we would be doing is we would be looping through all possible combinations. And how are we going to do that? We would be looping through all these particular numbers that are present in the set. Okay, from I equals to 0 to 17. 17 minus 1 basically, which is 16. Yeah, so after going through each and every possible elements in this particular set, I would be checking which particular bit in this particular bit string is set. So mask is nothing but it is my bit string. Mask is nothing but mask is a set of bits, 17 bits. It can be anything like this, or basically total number of bits are there is 17 in my mask, and in each and every iteration there is a combination of set bits and unset bits, right? So I would be checking which of these particular 17 bits is set for each and every iteration. So I would be doing that by a basic bit masking operation, which is I am making another mask, which one here there is one mask, one left shift I. This is basically left shifting 1 to some position which is I. So here if I would be 0, then the set bit would be at 0, right? This would be my mask. If I would have been 1, then the set bit would be at the position 1. So I am having a check if this particular mask, and I am adding this with my mask over here, which is created or which is iterated in this particular for loop, and I'm checking if the ith bit, this particular is to check if ith bit is set or not. Okay, this condition is to check if the ith bit is set or not in mask. Okay, so if the ith bit in this particular mask is set, then this means that in this particular mask we are having some combinations which are present, right? So I would be multiplying, or I would be taking product of each and every set bits of this particular mask. Okay, and I would be doing it by p is equals to p into a of I, and a of I would be nothing but, let us say over here is it is s of I. S is my set, and S is set, this one, which is containing each and every prime numbers which are less than 60. So I would be taking product of the elements present in the subset. Subset over here is the mask, is represented by mask, and I am taking product of each and every element that is present in this particular subset of my set S, which is represented by mask over here. Why am I taking this particular product? Because I want to find the LCM of all the numbers that is present in this particular subset of set S, and the subset is represented by this particular mask. Okay, and I would be adding this in my answer. Okay, answer plus is equals to this thing, n by p, right? Because n by p is the total number of numbers that in this particular range 1 to n that are divisible by p. So this is the basic solution to this problem. But as I said that we will have to also subtract the numbers which are divisible by both 2 and 3. Okay, so I am adding in those particular masks or subsets which are having 1, 3 or odd number of numbers in the subset, and I am subtracting those which are having even number of elements in the subset. So when the subset only had one element, which is 2, I added in the answer. When it had only one, which is 3, in the subset we added. And when my subset is having two elements, which is 2 and 3, then we subtracted. So what we would be doing is we would be calculating how many set bits are present in my mask, and what would this number of set bits give me? The number of set bits would give me that how many numbers are present in this particular subset of S, and accordingly we would be adding it. So I would be having a set bit function which would be counting the number of set bits in my mask, and I would be checking if this is odd or even. We can do it by ANDing it with 1, or we can also do it by taking it as modulus 2. So if the number of set bit in my mask is odd, then this condition would be true, then we are adding. Otherwise, if it is even, then we are subtracting. So this is a basic ternary operation which is giving this which is changing the sign of addition or subtraction, and I would be multiplying this with my n by p. Okay, and finally I would be printing the answer, which would give me the total number of numbers in this particular range 1 to n, which is divisible by any of the primes lesser than 60. Okay, so I guess you have got the pretty basic idea of how to solve this particular problem. This was a medium hard level problem. So I would be moving to the C++ implementation. Okay, so let me write, let me add the libraries, and then using namespace std. Here I would be using hash define int long long. Why am I doing that? Because the range or the constant for n was really high. So I will have to do this. Int 32 tmain. I am taking int 32 tmain because I have given an alias, or I have added a macro of int as long long. So I will have to make here int 32 tmain. Okay. Now first I would be taking the number of test cases, which is t, and then while t minus minus, I am taking input the number n. Okay, and now I would be looping through the mask. I am making this particular answer as 0, and I am also declaring a variable which is mask, and also the looping variable which is I. So the mask will range from 1, and it will be lesser than, as I said, 1 left shift 17, which is nothing but 2 to the power 17. I am writing 1 LL because it is long long. In this particular case, I will have to make long long because it should be of at least 17 bits, right? And then mass plus plus. Here 1 LL is nothing but 1 only in long long form. And then I am having another element P, which will be storing the product of each and every combination or each and every subset of this particular set of all the prime numbers. And at first, let me also write down all the prime numbers, which is nothing but int a, and I am adding each and every these numbers in my set. Okay, so these are my prime numbers. Yeah, okay. And now I would be looping through all the bits of all the 17 bits of this particular mask. Okay, and I would be creating another mask to check if the ith bit of my mask is set or not. And if it is set, then I would be taking the product and I would be storing it in P. Okay, and finally my answer plus would be having total number of set bits, and I am counting here the total number of set bits in my mask, and I am doing it with the set bits function, and I am checking if it is odd or even. If it is odd, then I would be adding it, then it would be +1, otherwise it would be -1. And finally I am subtracting the whole thing with n by p. Okay, and finally we would be printing our answer. I guess this is the pretty basic logic of solving this particular problem, and how to calculate the total number of set bits. It can be done easily. You can watch any of the videos. For now, I am just writing the system defined function, which is nothing but built-in pop count. This is a system defined function. You can write it on your own as well. It's really easy to write it. So for now I have used built-in pop count for this one, and let me also add the free open lines so that it would be giving output over the Sublime text editor only. Okay, now let me remove this particular output and let me run this code. So you can see that this code is working really good for the sample test case. Let us move to the PrepBytes platform and let us submit this particular question. Okay, so let us paste this particular code over here, and let me comment out these free open lines. And this is the pretty basic code. Let us run this code. Yeah, so it ran successfully. Let us submit this particular code. It was a great bit manipulation question, and I hope you guys have understood the basic logic behind how to solve this particular question. Okay, so we got an AC over this solution. Thank you for watching this video, and keep coding.